Welcome to Film Festival in a Box. Today we're going to talk about how to build authentic audiences and to recognize student movie projects. I am Georgia Terlahi. I am currently a TK through 5 instructional coach. I work for Palm Springs Unified. Finished my 33rd year in education, and I'm part of the core leadership team for science in Palm Springs, and I'm an ISTE DSN PLN leader. And I'm here with my partner in crime, Miss Jessica Pack.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a California Teacher of the Year and an ISTE author and a podcast co-host with Georgia. So we do lots and lots of collab together and we love it. And we are so excited to share with you guys today. So we're going to just kind of divide a little bit of our time into 2 different categories. We want to make sure that we start with the why to really understand why a film festival is so important for our kiddos. I'm coming from a secondary background, Georgia's coming from elementary, and we found that across all those age spans, having that authentic audience piece is so important. So we're going to spend some time talking about that. And then Georgia is going to give us a rundown on how to effectively plan a film festival. She's done extensive work with our elementary film festival programming in the district that we work for, and we're really excited to share that with you. So if we're looking at why film festivals are important, I already alluded to it a little bit. It's really that authentic audience piece. And I'm reminded of that super well-known Rushton Hurley quote where he's talking about the difference between a student creating for their teacher, where they just make their work good enough, and the student making work for an authentic audience outside the classroom, beyond the walls of the school, and how much better and more improved that quality of work ends up being. So we're just really supportive of film festivals as a venue to express student learning and showcase what it is that kids have to say. When we look at film festivals and their ability to be a vehicle for lifting student voices, that's huge. We serve a lot of underrepresented populations in our district, and we really enjoy and value the opportunity to hear from our kiddos and to learn from their lived experiences, to see what the learning is like for them, and to really showcase some incredible artifacts of their learning. And so we believe that film festivals are a great way for every district everywhere to do that. Film festivals are also a good vehicle for equity building, because when we make space for student voices and we make space for everyone to be heard, there's that real culture of acceptance and recognition and celebration of one another. And that's just a really invaluable component of the film festival experience. So hopefully we've sold you on why we need film festivals. And now, Georgia, let's get into how to pull one off.
Yes. So I think I did 3 years of film festivals before the pandemic. And so reflecting back, one of the most important things to start with is creating your team and being very mindful of how you get your team together. Besides people you like to work with, you want some super creative outside of the box people. You want you'd like some type A people, because they're good for keeping you on track and getting things done. Jessica and I are super creative people, and we need like handlers and wranglers. And so you want to have this diverse group to help you make this happen, to make it super successful. So the next thing you want to do, or use what we're going to give you, is create a timeline. After the first year of doing this, I realized it's good to have a timeline in the beginning of the school year to mark out some benchmark dates and some drop dead dates for things. So you're not looking up in like February or March and going, oh, I should have booked a venue, or things that can make you crazy. So we found that a strong film festival runs like a variety show, and that's kind of the way we liked to create it. So here's, a basic timeline. First, you definitely want to talk to your admin first, get them on board, create your team, then, get your date and get a venue. We did ours elementary at a high school theater, so it was very like Broadway-esque. And we would have to book a year ahead of time, but that's okay. We knew that. So we had that on the timeline. And then as you look as the timeline rolls out, it's, having monthly meetings to try to figure out, what kind of festival you want to have. Do you want a theme for your festival, which is helpful when you're creating it like a variety show? It gives you sort of a place to hang your hat as you go. We also had student MCs. We would create a script, and so it was adults and students that were MCs. You want to make sure you have dates in there early on, probably if you're going to have it in March, where films need to be in. So you're also, if your school's not doing movies, you want to start in the beginning of the year figuring out how you're going to create this culture. And sometimes it's just tapping even one teacher per grade level that you could partner with. I taught 5th grade forever. I may partner with a 1st grade class and have them make movies together. And so you have these opportunities where people can make movies, so you have things to curate for your festival. Also might want to schedule a family movie making day where you could have some people that can be your tech support. Families come in. We had families come in with pictures of family story they wanted to tell, and we helped them put that together. So we had a section of our festival that was just for these family movies. And it's a way to kind of build community through your school, through your families, that all kind of culminates on the night of your festival.
I love that you're talking about that culture of filmmaking, Georgia, because the film festival is like, the big culminating event, but there's nothing to celebrate if you're not supporting that along the way. So I really love how specific and intentional you are in these benchmark dates. Thanks for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And just, onboarding admin is super important. Whether or not they actually roll up their sleeves and get involved, or just supportive in letting you do this big thing, sharing your vision is important. If you're looking for funding or verbiage to talk to your admin about, family, what's the wording? Using LCAP money for family engagement, that's what I was looking for, is a way to get admin on board. This can be you can have family engagement for movie making. The film festival can be part of family engagement. And it really does build community. It's not just checking off a box, but it's a good way to get an admin on board if they're not like really sure like how crazy you are and what you're trying to do. The think outside the box is huge. So once again, building that storytelling culture on campus. My school, we had a 5th grade had a news program, a news magazine where we made all these silly little stories. And then that helped other classes wanted to send stories to the news. And that's the first year how we got movies for the film festival. And as that culture builds, students come in, to the next year. Oh, I want to make movies. Oh, I want to do that. I want to send to the news. I want to be in the film festival. And so it actually does kind of snowball as you continue with it. But thinking outside the box is huge for getting funding, for getting, community support, all of these kinds of things. I think one of the things we'd put on the timeline is see if you can get community support. We worked with the TV studio, the news TV studio in town, and to get money. We worked with a nonprofit that was big in movie making that helped us get some money. I mean, we ran it on a $500 budget. We're not talking a lot of money, just for prizes and, entertainment and different things. But you just kind of think of a way to draw people in so that the night of the event, it is a big community event, a fun place to be.
I think community partners are really essential too, because people want kids to succeed. They love seeing kids recognized, and it's a great way to advertise for local businesses. So if you can work out some like signage or something that they can put up there, that's a fantastic idea.
So setting a budget, our main part of our budget, we paid for a DJ and a photo booth as people were walking in and out of the festival to give it that sense of it's an event. It's not, they just come in, sit down quietly, and then it happens. So it was engaging, and there were activities pre-festival and afterwards. So, community partnerships, you could do a GoFundMe. There's all kinds of ways to raise money. When we did awards, we gave every student that submitted paper awards. And then we chose, like, say, 10 basic thematic awards where we did these little tiny Oscars for, you know, like the Savvy Student Award, the best one, through our local person that, you know, makes awards for all the sports teams. And the awards, I don't think the awards were more than $50. I mean, it really didn't cost that much money. It was really the entertainment, but I was super passionate about having it be an event, so paid for professionals to DJ and do photo booths and that kind of thing. And that kind of goes into go big or go home. Make your festival unforgettable and leave them wanting more. So interactive components engage the audience. We would run it sort of like the Kids' Choice Awards. I mean, we would throw things into the audience. You know, we had t-shirts, we bought silly little things on Oriental trading, and at different points had prizes. We made super interactive so that the people left wanting more. And I think we were really successful with that. You know, it wasn't just watching the movies. It was the funny variety in between the movies, everyone getting awards. And so everyone felt engaged. It wasn't like a sit and get event. And I think that is key.
I really, really love how you were able to talk about your planning process all the way through so that someone else could take this and have it be a replicable model. Hopefully you're visiting our poster page and you can see all of the other resources that we have linked for you. Feel free to grab those and start a new movement at your school. We're super
Absolutely.
excited.
And just like the first year I did this, it was completely not as organized as this. And as you do it, you become more reflective and linear. It's like, oh, I could do this better. But you can see, like on these pictures, we had a Kindergarten Success Award because the kindergarten classes were doing videos. We just made it up. We made up the name. And then all of the kindergartners that were in the movie got a little award that was on paper that, you know, we just got a template for. But, you know, families come, the kids love to be honored, and it's super fun. And you can see in the other, kids are dressing up in costume. We had lots of pictures. We had a confessional booth. We had a place where kids could do some improvisational acting with costumes and film it, just to make it you know, exciting and fun. And then we have our zombie friends, because that was something we went in the community and went to Comic-Con in Palm Springs, and the zombies adopted us. And so we got to do a bunch of stuff with the zombies that came.
I love that so much. Well, one of the things that's helpful when you're looking at a large variety of movies from an entire school site, or maybe even a district, if, you know, depending on the size of initiative that you're undertaking, it's really helpful to have a common lexicon to be able to look at each student's work with. We prefer the SCALE acronym, which was developed at Digicom Learning, which is a nonprofit in Southern California that we both were teacher consultants for over a decade. But we really appreciate that acronym because it's talking about the story, the camera, the audio, the look, and the editing of the piece. And so if you can help kids understand those 5 words and kind of understand the hallmarks of the best representation in each of those categories, the quality of what they're producing really increases, because knowledge is power, and it helps us create even more wonderful expressions of our learning. So something like this, like a universal movie project rubric, might be helpful at older grades, and something simple like the poster on the left could be helpful with younger grades, just to give kids a jumping off point to putting their best foot forward. And then as adults, this gives you language, screen language, to be able to use as you're talking and evaluating the student work that's submitted.
So some of the pitfalls to avoid, some of the biggies that just came to my mind is not following the timeline. Basically, so you don't look up in March and say, oh, dear Lord, I have so much I need to do. So timeline is good. Not booking your venue or entertainment early enough. Sometimes, you know, if you want a photo booth, sometimes they get super busy in May with graduation. Same thing with venues. Make sure you get stuff on the books early. It's not like you can't have it like in your school cafeteria as an elementary school. That's completely fine. I come from like a theater background, so I'm always big, and so you have to do you. But if you're going to book someplace, do it early enough. And the last most important thing is thinking you can do most of it by yourself. No. you need a village to help you. There's too much work. And so that's where choosing your team wisely is super important. And, you know, you can share the love, and then everyone feels like a stakeholder in this event. And it's not just your event, it's the community, it's the school, it's everyone's, and they take ownership of it. And it's a fun experience.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing those pitfalls to avoid. Georgia and I mentioned earlier that we have a podcast about digital storytelling. Movie making is our passion, so we hope you'll check us out on iTunes or SoundCloud. We have those resources linked here in our poster session as well. And then available this summer, you can check out a title coming soon to ISTE Books. It's Movie Making in the Classroom, Lifting Student Voices Through Digital Storytelling. So hopefully we will see you in our poster session where we can answer questions and expand on our message even further. So thanks very much and enjoy your ISTE experience.